y'all. No, I'm just playing, but hey y'all. It is currently 5:27 in the morning. I'm just getting off work, and I decided to do the Q&A because your girl really wasn't vlogging this week. So that's so much for like daily vlogging. I only did it for like one full week and then then failed. I have some questions right here that you guys had asked, and I'm just sitting here warming my car up, and I'm sure people are probably looking at me at work like I'm crazy, but I'm just sitting here warming my car up real quick. It's kind of cold outside. Not cold, it's kind of chilly. I got a little bit of frost on my windshield, like a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something. But I'm gonna answer these questions really quickly because I don't want this video to be so long with just me answering questions, because on my main channel my Q&As be like an hour long. Let's start off with the first one. So let's get this one popping. Okay, the first one is, why do you always make the cat noises? Okay, let me see how can I put this. You know what it means? It means like, oh yeah, or it could mean holla, or it could mean womp, she told you, ooh, wow, like that. So it means a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, this is how it started. Oh, let's see. Okay, I had a foster son before Lizzie came, and he would always fuss at me. And like when he got a little attitude, he would fuss. I'm like, and my mom always called fussing barking. She's like, why are you always barking? Like, she hates when people bark, meaning like people like snap at people and like fuss or whatever. So whenever he would say something that was like snappy for a 2-year-old, my mom was like, oh, look at him barking. But I'm not gonna walk around going, roof. So I turned it into row, because if he was the dog, I was the cat. I know this story is really silly, but this is how it started. And so I would only make that noise whenever he would have like a little baby attitude, and that would kind of like ease the mood. So if he was like, no, I don't want to do that, mommy, I'm not gonna do that, or something like that, I'd be like, oh, wow, like that, and it would either make him giggle or smile. And so then it just became a habit. So whenever I'm like, my round can mean if I see somebody arguing, like, oh, she told you, round, like that. Or it could be like, girl, your makeup is bait, round, like that. It's almost like, get it, holla, she told you, pop that collar, womp womp. It can mean something like that. It's just, I don't know, it's just like an explanation point. That's basically what the cat noise is. It's an explanation point. That's the best way to explain it. But yeah, now it's a habit. He's long gone. He went back home with his biological family, but I still keep doing it. It's just a habit. But yeah, that took a long time to answer that simple question. We're gonna be here all day. The next one is, I have an adoption question, comment in general. Not about the baby specifically, but do both biological parents have to be terminated, like their rights terminated, before the child is adopted? That means that no blood relation on either side came forward and stepped in for the child, or they were all deemed unfit for the courts. You basically got this 100% correct. If there are two parents involved, let's say it's mom and dad, and we know who they are and where they are, both of their rights have to be terminated. Let's say that there's a missing mom, so the child was raised by dad and they got taken away by dad. They would take the rights away from dad, and then they would deem mom as neglect or abandonment, so she would lose her rights by default. In the same way the other way around. So with Lizzie, because you know Lizzie and Buddy have two different dads. With Lizzie, her dad was not in her life, so his rights got taken away due to abandonment. They found out who he was, like we knew who he was, but he never came forward or anything, like and they talked to him, and he was okay with giving his rights. So they told him, they said, we're going to take the rights away due to abandonment. And he said, well, I can't care for her, and if she's in a home and she's being well taken care of, I'm all for it. So, and then they said, oh, this makes it easier. So they just took his rights. And then with mom, it was a little bit of a fight. I had Lizzie for, from 2014, June of 2014, and she got adopted in October of 2015. So it was over a year, like a year and a half. So it was a long fight. Now, she doesn't fight me. She loves me. But at that time, she was mad. And I understand parents are getting mad with DCF. I understand it, but I don't understand it. You know, it's like going through DCF is not a way of life. Take care of your kids, do what you got to do, and you won't have to be mixed in that. I know every story is different, but when you know the story, and I know the story, it could have been avoided. That's what I'm saying. And but with Buddy's situation, both parents, because Lizzie and Buddy have the same mom, so they're stripping her rights, and then with Dad, they have to strip his rights too. And then as far as like family members, they do go to family members first. That's who they want, because they want the children to stay with blood. So they go with family members first, and then they don't go through the whole strenuous foster care procedure, like the classes and all that stuff. But they do have to go through the home study. So they skip all the licensing part and they go dive right into the home study. And if it passes, they get the child. If it doesn't, then the child stays in foster care, and then it goes on from there. And sometimes family members don't step forward because they don't want to deal with their relatives' children. Either they feel the relatives' children are bad, or they just don't want, they probably written off that relative. Like, you always keep getting in trouble, you always keep doing wrong. No, you're gonna learn your lesson. Let your kids get taken away. You'll learn your lesson. Maybe you'll work faster getting your kids back than if I take them. You'll never come and get your kids back because you'll feel like, oh, grandma got them or my auntie got them, kind of thing like that. I've heard parents say that. I've heard grandparents say that about their kids. They didn't want to take them because they're like, my daughter will never get her act together because she'll feel that I got her kids. So let them go into foster care. That's bad, because you're trying to make your daughter suffer, but you're actually making your grandchildren suffer. I heard that with some other kids that I had. But yeah, so wrap that up in a nutshell. All rights have to be taken away from mom and dad. Whether, let's say mom had a one-night stand, or mom had a baby daddy and you don't know where he is, or she don't even know who he is, then it's just abandonment because he's not in the child's life, so it gets stripped by default. But yeah, both rights have to be taken away, and then they see if there's a suitable blood relative that can take the kids. If there aren't, or if they just haven't come forward, then the child stays in foster care until either they're adopted or they just grow out of the system. Can you talk about letting your foster children go when they've been reunified with their parents? I'm just getting involved in foster care and I'm starting my pride training, and one of the things that I fear is becoming attached to them when they send them back, even though it's great that the parents work their plan. But also, do people ever question why you don't have any biological children? I'm not able to have children naturally and have no interest in pursuing fertility treatments at this point, but I want to be a parent, and I feel a calling to become a foster parent. Maybe eventually adopt if the right match came along. However, I feel some people think I'm less capable because I don't have any children of my own. Oops, I got a little pop-up on my screen. If you have a heart, it's going to break and it's going to hurt when the kids go back home. I say it's almost like a breakup. It's like, keep yourself busy. Like the day that my previous foster child went home, y'all know him by Gabe. When Gabe went home, the first thing I did was got my mom and my sister, and we went to the gym. Then we went shopping. Y'all know I like to shop. But no, keep yourself busy, because it will feel like a breakup, or it'll feel like a death almost. Like, I don't want to speak death on a child, but it's like that relationship has passed away, because you'll never see those kids again unless the parents want to have that open communication. Like, I gave my telephone number and my address to Gabe's mom and told her, you can call me anytime if you need me to watch him, anything, if you need help, you need someone to talk to, you feel stressed, just call me. Never heard from her. I don't know if maybe Gabe was asking where's mommy and where's Nana, because I had him for over a year. I had him for like 13 months, almost 14 months. And I'm sure he was like, where's mommy, where's Nana? Then that probably pissed her off. So she was like, oh, wrong, this telephone number and this address is going to the trash. And I miss that little boy every day. And I think about him all the time. Even Lizzie knows about him, because my mom has pictures of him in her house. Me and Gabe went on photo shoots, and we had professional pictures taken. And my sister still has him in her house up. Like, he was a big part of our lives, and it's like a big piece of our life is gone. And Lizzie's like, who's this little boy? She used to always ask, and I'm like, that's Gabe. And I was like, that's your old foster brother, Gabe. Although they were never in the house the same together, but I always says your foster brother. And then she's like, that's Gabe and mommy. Like, she knows who that is. Never met him, she just see him in pictures. But what else? The other one you said, and do people question you why you don't have any biological children? YouTube does. Real life, no. YouTube will ask me, because it's crazy. It's like they think the only people who adopt are people who can't biologically have children. That is the stupidest assumption of life. Just because you're adopting doesn't necessarily mean, oh, let me put infertile on the top of my forehead. Now, there are some people who can't have kids and that's why they adopt, but that's not the only people who adopt. I feel like my calling was to be an adoptive foster mother, but I'm not in no rush to have any kids, although my biological clock is tickety-tock ticking away because I'm 33, about to be 34 this year. But I don't care. I feel like once I don't know, I can't speak this for everybody, but once Lizzie came to live with me, it wasn't even the adoption. It was once she came to live with me, I was a mother. And you feel like it. It's like I don't have the stretch marks to prove that I'm a mom, but I have the heart to prove that I'm a mom. If you open up my chest and see my heart, it says mother on it. It's just my uterus don't say mother on it. So it's like, don't listen to what people say. You are capable, because if that's the case, then that means that everybody that popped a baby out is capable of being a mom. And if that's the case, there wouldn't be a thing called foster care. Whether you carried the baby in your uterus or not does not give you capability of being a parent. That just gave you the capability of reproducing. Did or do you have to do daily notes on your foster kids and turn them in weekly? That was told to us in training. I know people who foster with different agencies and they said that they don't have to do that. I know it's difficult from state. I know it's different from state to state. No, I don't have to do anything like that. I don't know if it's if you're going through like a private agency, but I never had to do anything like that. You can take notes for your own personal usage and see how the child progresses and develops, but no, they never needed that. I don't know if they never needed that because they come out to the home. They come out to the home once a month. When the child first comes, for the first month, they come out once a week. Then after that, they come out once a month. So I guess that's how they get their updates, but I don't have to keep a journal or anything. Why did you leave your other job? I love your videos, by the way. Thanks, girl. Why I left my other job is because I needed a night job, because daycare is robbery. It's like, it's really expensive. Like daycare in Connecticut, I don't know about other states, but in Connecticut, if you send your kid to a good daycare, not just some crazy place with snotty-nosed kids and lice running around everywhere and diaper rashes, but a real good place, daycare is between $800 and $1,500 a month per kid. When Lizzie was a foster child, they paid for it, so I didn't have to worry about that. But once she became my legal child, it's all on me. Now they'll pay for Buddy to go to daycare, but I don't want him in daycare because of his issues, like his low muscle tone and his helmet and stuff like that. So it's like with the low muscle tone, I don't want him sitting all day because they would have to be carrying him, you know, and they would have to really look out for him because if he sits up and he turns too quickly, he can fall down and hurt himself. So no, like he's temporarily special needs right now. So I don't want him in daycare. And Lizzie, I can't afford to put her in daycare. I'm not spending $800 to $1,500 a month in daycare. I can take that money, put it in a savings account, so me and my critters can get the heck up out of here in about 2 years and go to Nevada. That's a lot of money, dang. That's like rent or mortgage. How and why did you start becoming a foster parent, and how many kids did you have before deciding to adopt Lizzie? I've always wanted to do foster care because my aunts, I have Aunt Gloria that passed away, Aunt Maxine, the one that hosts the once a month meals at her house, and my Aunt Bernice. They have all either fostered, adopted, or foster then adopted children. So I have like foster children and adoptive children in my family, so they're all my cousins. And we don't look at like, oh, that's my adopted cousin, oh, that's my foster cousin. No, they're cousins. When I started doing it, nobody blinked, nobody asked why. And when they saw who I adopted, they saw Lizzie and they saw she's white. Although I can make a whole another video about that because there's been some drama on my other channel recently. But nobody in my family blinked about that because that's what we do in our family. What song is it? What song is that when you play at the end? No, what song is that plays at the end of your vlogs? That is called I'ma Be Happy by Archduke.
I'ma be happy, I'ma be good, you better believe it. I'ma be happy, I'ma be good, get that understood. I'ma be happy, I'ma be good, you better believe it. I'ma be happy, I'ma be good, get that understood.
That is the bomb song of life. I don't know what I'm gonna top with that when I adopt Buddy. I don't know what I'm gonna do, what song is gonna be his theme song, because that's her theme song. That is her jam. She says that is her song. She knows all the words and everything. But I don't know what song I'm gonna do to top that. But yep, it's called I'ma Be Happy by Archduke. It's like our theme song. Has anyone ever told you you look like Aisha Tyler? Everybody tells me that. Everybody. I want to meet Aisha Tyler and be like, hey twin, what's up, girlfriend? Oh, everyone tells me that. I know you said that Lizzie is part Puerto Rican. Is Buddy also? I know they have different dads. Yes, Buddy is also part Puerto Rican as well. Mama got a thing for the Puerto Rican men. She loves her Latinos. But yeah, she loves Puerto Rican men. Mom is Italian, and all of her baby daddies are Puerto Rican. So yeah, so all of her babies are half Italian, half Puerto Rican. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but there's 4 of them. There's 2 boys and 2 girls. Their ages are, I want to say 16, 8, 2.5, that's Lizzie, and then 10 months, soon to be 11 months, which is Buddy. And I know people may ask, why didn't you adopt them? Because they were adopted years ago. It's unfortunate that Mom lost every child she had. She would give birth to them, have them for a little while, and lose them. Give birth again, have them for a little while, lose them. So it's a cycle. I've been giving her some tough love. Because, you know, we communicate. We have an open adoption agreement. So it's not just open with Lizzie and her. It's open with Lizzie, her, and me. Like, you part of my life, too. So, yeah, I give her tough love. She accepts it. She calls me her angel, and she calls me her family, and the only person she trusts. So I feel like if you trust me, you're going to trust me to give you the real deal. And I told her, stop having children. I said, get your life together. Get a good job. Get your own place. Don't get messed up with no man. Don't worry about no man right now. Worry about loving yourself. And then in the future, if you want children, do that. Don't make any more children right now. Now, I've given her tough love, and she's accepted it. She didn't get mad or anything, but I'm serious. I feel like taking her out and spanking that girl. She ain't listening. But for real, I know I act goofy, but I'm serious. I'm real serious about that. What's the next one? Is, will you adopt again after Buddy? No and yes. Oh man, more people coming outside of work. They're gonna be looking at me like, well, who the heck is this girl talking to? I would say, I'm so confused about that. It's like, I don't know. I want God to tell me, because I say no. And right now in my life, I'm gonna say no, because it's just me. And I always said this. I always said, I would never have more kids than I can carry or that I can hold. So like if we're walking across the street, I got 2 hands, I got 2 kids. If I was married, I would say the most I can have is 4, because my man can have the 2 kids holding walking across the street, and I can have the 2 kids holding walking across the street. I don't know. I've always thought that ever since I was little. I was like, I think that was because when I was 3, I'm sorry. When I was 3, I got hit by a car. And I just darted right in the street and got hit by a car. The guy hit me, backed up, and drove away. And so that always stuck in my head, like it like permanently like marked my skull that I'm freaking paranoid. I don't know if you guys ever pay attention, or like, well, you guys always pay attention, but I don't know. I don't even know if I put these in the vlogs, but I freak out when Lizzie walks too close to a curb. And I was like, you have to hold my hand. That's the rules. I like freak out because I got hit by a car around her age. So I feel like I don't want to have any more. And plus I feel like I can't give them all the best attention to have that many kids as a single parent. Now, if I ever get married, then I probably wouldn't adopt, because I'm sure he probably would want his own biological child, or unless he already has biological children, and then maybe we can adopt a child together. I don't know. But at this point, I love my little family with me and my 2 little critters. I got my boy, I got my girl. Holla, it's all right. I don't know. It's kind of like a no with a maybe. But yeah, but I'll tell you this. I'm not going to adopt another child in Connecticut. So once after Buddy is adopted, I am closing my license. And then I will see where life takes me and what God wants. And I may open up a license in Nevada. But I'm closing it in Connecticut, yeah. And will you and Corey get back together? And why did your marriage not work? Me and Corey will not get back together. There's actually a sad update about Corey. I was going to talk about it, but I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to cry in the video. And then I didn't know how much of his business he wants out there. But Corey was involved in a really bad car accident about 2 months ago. And we thought he was going to die. He is getting better. His kidneys start working again. He's actually walking now, talking. But it was really, really bad. And that I'm thinking about him and that I care about him. But no, we're not going to get back together. I don't think I've ever gotten, well, I take that back. I did get back in a relationship with someone I broke up. But I don't believe in getting back with somebody after you break up with them. Because you broke up for a reason. And what's going to happen is you're going to date and then you're going to end up breaking up again. I got back in a relationship with my ex-husband. Like, we were dating, got engaged, and then we broke up. And then we got back together, rekindled our, or reactivated our engagement, and then got married. And then got a divorce 3 years after that. The marriage didn't work is because he was jealous and controlling. You guys know that I'm so goofy. He's not positive like that. And by me being so happy, it used to piss him off. You know how you could be around people who are like, you're positive or you're trying to be positive, and there's people who's always pissed off or always angry, and they get mad when they're around positive people? That was him. I couldn't be around that. I felt like my life was draining. I felt like I was stuck. I felt like I was in captivity, like I was a slave. It was just horrible. Then I tried to be nice to him, and we started talking again. Not in that type of way, but, you know, as a human being, like, how you're doing. And then that went downhill, and now I don't talk to him anymore at all. Have you ever met with Lizzie and Buddy's dad or Buddy's mom? If you have, has Lizzie ever met her mom, or do you ever hang out? The way you worded it is almost like Buddy and Lizzie have two different moms. They have the same mom, they have different dads. I've never met either one of their fathers. I don't know what Lizzie's dad looks like. I know what Buddy's dad looks like because I Googled him and found him on Facebook. But hearing their story, I don't want to meet them. With the mom, we don't hang out. We do have an open adoption agreement where we meet up like once a year, and if we want to do more, but the agreement says at least once a year. We do communicate through letters. Trying to ease it in with Lizzie. Lizzie knows who her birth mother is because she was in foster care, and with foster care, you visit your family, you visit your sibling. You visit your parents. If they're available to visit. You visit your parents. I think some people get confused that I just adopted her through an agency. Like I looked at her in a book or in a catalog and picked her out. No, she was in foster care. So she knows who her mom is. She calls her by her first name. And I don't think she understands that she has two mommies. She does know that she did not come out of my tummy. She knows she came out of her birth mom's tummy. And she said it like this, because this is how I told her the story. And then I asked her like a week later and see if she remembered. I said, Lizzie, did you come out of my tummy? No. I said, why not? Because I came out of, and I'm going to call her Mary, because I came out of Mary's tummy. I said, but you were supposed to come out of my tummy. And she said, oh, Mommy, I'm sorry, but I came out of Mary's tummy. And Mary said, here, friend, take care of Lizzie. And I was like, you do remember the story? And she was like, yeah. And then she said, but Mommy, I could try to go back in your tummy. I could try. I said, oh no, you're big grown till I ain't gonna go scoot back up in there. No, we good, we okay. But yeah, she knows that she's adopted. She knows it as much as a 2-year-old can understand. Of course, we'll keep talking about it as she get older, and then she'll know more and more about it, but yeah. I know it's probably a stupid question, but my parents want to have another child. Whether it be adopting or fostering, which one would you say is easier? What's the difference? If you have a hard time letting go, adopting is easier. If you are okay with letting go, but you just want to give a child the best life they can while their parents get their life together, then you can do a fostering. Fostering, there's a high chance the children are going to go home. I've had 5 children before Elizabeth. And it was 2 girls. They left after 21 hours. I died inside. I thought they were going to be my girls. I was like, the Lord, thank you, Jesus. I got my 2 girls. Because if you watch Draw My Life, I said I want 2 girls. And when they showed up, I was like, oh, this is on and popping. This is right. They left in 21 hours. Then, after that, I got 2 twin newborns straight from the hospital. I'm the one who discharged them from the hospital. My signature is on the discharge papers in their files, in their medical files. They stayed with me for a month. I knew I wasn't going to adopt them. I just had this feeling that I wasn't going to adopt them. But I took care of them, 2 little critters. It was so cute. They were so cute. They weren't identical. They were fraternal twins. And they had to stay in the hospital for a while before I got them too. I think they were like 10 days old before I got them. Because one, his birth weight was really, really low. The other one had normal birth weight, but it kept dropping. So they were in the NICU for a while, and then I had them. Their mom was pretty cool after the fact. She was really nice. She was so happy that I took care of her kids. She kept thanking me over and over again. And I ran into her because she had worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and I ran into her at one time. She was like, "Who is at my window? Oh my gosh, how you doing, girl?" I was like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "They're getting so big." But this was a month after they were gone. How old would these babies be? I want to say they're probably 5 or 4 years old now. Dang, time go by fast. And the other girls, the ones that stay 21 hours, they should be like 8 and 4 now, or 8 and 3 now, something like that. Dang. And then after that, after those 2 boys went, I got Gabe. So he's number 5. And I kept him for a year, actually 13 or 14 months. And then Lizzie came. And then all of them went back home. So it's not like I chose her to adopt her. Like, I sent all the other ones away and I chose this one. No, they all left because they went back to their parents. Lizzie her parents lost their rights over her. And I couldn't say, "Oh, well, I just want to foster, so you can go find an adoptive home for her," because there are foster parents who strictly foster. They don't adopt. And that's hard for me, like, to understand. Like, you can foster a kid for a couple of years, and then when it's time for them to find an adoptive home, you don't consider it. Like, you just say, "Okay, I'll hold on to him or her until you find an adoptive home." That's trauma. But there are foster parents who do that. They're strictly foster homes only, and they don't adopt. They just foster. I can't do that. Power to the people who can, but then again, not power, because you just traumatize that child again. But it's easier to adopt because that child will be yours and you'll never have to lose them until they go off to college, and then your heart just breaks. I know you mentioned that when you adopted Lizzie that she took your last name, but did you change her first name or middle name as well? I did not change her first name. She was born Elizabeth. I did change her middle name. She is Elizabeth Ann Holden, and it's because I passed on my middle name to her because my middle name came from my aunt. So we keep passing it down. And I know that when I adopt Buddy, I want to change his middle name to Andrew. I know it's kind of weird. Like, you got Andrew. That's what I wanted. I always said if I had a girl, her middle name would be Ann. And if I had a boy, his middle name would be Andrew. But yeah, like mine, because my name's Kimberly Ann Holden. But I would never change the child's first name because that's their name. They know their name, especially when they're like 2 when they're adopted. But yeah. Did your mom babysit all of your foster children? And can you explain the process of becoming a foster parent? Where we at? 30 minutes. Dang, I try to make this fast. It's just not working. It's not on and popping. I would be driving now, but I can't read and drive at the same time. My mom did not babysit all of them. She just did that Lizzie and Buddy because I work at night. The other children were in daycare. Well, Gabe was the only one in daycare. The 2 girls were only with me for 21 hours, so they didn't even need to be in daycare. The 2 twins, I worked at this company that gave foster parents maternity leave. So I was on maternity leave, like foster parent version of maternity leave. So I didn't go to work then. Oh, that was great. Oh, wow, that was awesome. I missed those days. Woo, it felt good. She would babysit Gabe, like if I had to run to the store and stuff like that, but she never had him for like extended periods of time, like long hours like she has with Lizzie and Buddy. The only reason why she's doing that is because I work at night. But he was in daycare during the day. Let's see. Our buddy's low muscle tone and delayed motor skills a result of negligence in his previous home, like his skull problems, or is it just by chance? Issues he was born with? Was Lizzie similar when she came with you? I understand if you can't answer the question due to privacy. I'm gonna start driving now because we're coming to an end on the questions, and your girl wants to get home. This is almost 6 o'clock. But here we go. Let me turn. Hopefully this won't fall down, but with Buddy's low muscle tone and delayed gross motor skills, that's it. Those are the 2 things that he is struggling with. And low muscle tone, and his flat head. Low muscle tone, I don't know. I have to do more research, but I don't think that's due to negligence. I think you're born that way. I feel like he could have been a little stronger. I feel that there were a lot of things that the ball was dropped, so the ball was never even picked up. It ain't even in the court. It's not even in the game. that things could have been done to strengthen his low muscle tone, but I kind of feel you're born with that. Like a lot of gymnasts have low muscle tone, like a lot of like gymnasts who do gymnastics. Then there's people who are like contortionists and people that are like in what do they call those things, like in the circus, and they do all that crazy stuff. It's more likely they have low muscle tone because they can stretch and flip and do all that stuff. And you should see Buddy bend. He can like bend and fold like a pretzel. So I think you're born with that. See the phone falling. See, this is why I don't like driving. But with his low muscle tone, even though he has that, you guys see that with him being with me, he's strengthening them. He can stand up now, not on his own if he's holding onto something. But when he got to me, he couldn't bear no weight on nothing. Still can't crawl though. He hates when I put him in the position to crawl. He just starts screaming. But when Lizzie gets down on the floor and do it, he'll just look at her and he'll stay in that position, but he doesn't want to crawl. But he might just start walking without crawling. Now, as far as his flat head, the way his head is flat, that was not due to like pushing the baby out. I don't even think, no, he wasn't even pushed out. He was a cesarean section. And usually kids that are born in C-section have like the perfect heads because their body is not stuck in the birth canal. But he was born through C-section. I remember that. That was because he laid down all the time, and the person that had him before me, she admitted that she didn't do tummy time. She said she would only do it for like 3 or 4 minutes at a time because he would fuss and scream too much, and she would just stop it. He's not screaming because he's hurting. He's screaming because he doesn't want to do it. And you, as the parent, you're not supposed to let the child dictate what they want to do. That's why he was practically a vegetable when he came, because you let a 6-month-old, because he was 6 months old, you let a 6-month-old dictate what he's going to do. As y'all see, I didn't let him dictate nothing, and the boy's standing up. He hollered when I got him. He screamed, turned red, got pissed. But my thing is, if you're still breathing, you're going to do tummy time until tummy time is over. Duh. And this is the same person that's trying to fight for him. And then someone asked me about what's my main channel name. And all you have to do is just type in Kimberly Holden, and it'll show you my main channel. But the original name used to be CT Kimmy. So you type that in there, you'll find my main channel. I talk about hair, mainly just hair now. I used to talk about makeup and nails, but I mainly talk about hair. And then I kind of talk about makeup. But as y'all can see, I rarely wear makeup. And another thing, I just got a little pop-up screen on my phone about someone mentioning again that I meant to say something in the video before about smoke detectors. And people keep saying that my smoke detectors are beeping. And I'm looking to see if it's an old video. If it's an old video, of course they've been replaced. But no, you guys are saying it on recent videos. And I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't hear the smoke detectors beeping, like chirping. But then again, you can get used to that noise and it doesn't bother you. So what I want y'all to do, because I'm serious about this. I told my mom reads the comments too. She's like obsessed with reading your comments. But my mom was like, I read comments and people keep talking about smoke detectors. And then my thing, this is what I want y'all to do. If y'all are watching the vlog, it could be this vlog or a vlog before, not an old one, because obviously I've changed them since then, but like a recent one, when I start vlogging with Lizzie. If you guys hear the smoke detector chirp, in the comment section, write the time of the video. So like, let's say in the comments, you write, I heard the smoke detector beep at 5 minutes, at the 5-minute mark in this video. Then I could go back to it and see if I hear it, because I sat there, literally sat in my mom's living room listening to hear a chirp and heard nothing. Now, I know for a fact you guys don't hear chirping up in my house because I rarely vlog in my house. And then not only that, is because last week, was it last Tuesday? I think it was last Tuesday or last Thursday. It was sometime last week. My caseworker came out to the house and she has to like talk about life and everything and make sure nothing changed. And then she also goes through my house and tests all the smoke detectors. And she does that every time she comes. So my smoke detectors are A1. She would have heard chirping, and then it would have acted stupid when she tried to test them. And she tested last week, literally last week. It's either Tuesday or Thursday when she came to my house. And she came around like 3 o'clock in the afternoon last week. So I know it's not my house, but please tell me where you're hearing it at my mom's house, because that's mainly where I vlog 99% of the time. I swear we do not hear it chirping at all. But if it is chirping, because you know, you like I said, you get used to that noise, please tell me, or I should just go buy my mom batteries and just replace all of them. Anyway, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then if y'all guys still hear chirping, maybe y'all hear it in y'all own house and y'all think it's mine. No, just playing. What's the other thing? I'm trying to memorize what was on the paper. I don't think there was anything else written on that paper but the smoke, because I wrote talk about smoke detectors in capital letters on that paper. Now I want to talk about Buddy. Okay, we're at 38 minutes. This video is gonna be so freaking long. And today is Sunday, and this video is gonna go up on Sunday. It's gonna go up now today, so y'all can get this. But this is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to pray. I told my mom, I said, I got praying warriors up on my team. I said, these people know how to pray. I said, what's her name? Pissed over there in them streets thinking that she gonna get Buddy, but she not, because I got some praying warriors. I told my mom, I said, I got people praying from all over the world. So ain't got nothing on that. You got Jesus on your side. You got God. Hallelujah. You can do anything. We had the court date. I think I was answering questions in the comment section, but we had our court date back on, was it June 9th? And I'm sorry if I led people to think this or whatever, but that wasn't to find out that I was going to adopt Buddy, or that he's mine, or he gets my name and my last name and all that stuff. No, that's just the beginning of the road, girl. That's like the beginning of the roller coaster ride. Like on June 9th, we just sat in the seats. The ride's about to start now. And so basically, one side fights for Kim to have Buddy, and the other side fights for the other lady to have Buddy. And so it's like the lawyer's like, well, we ain't getting nowhere with this. So I want to do a thing called an interaction. And so tomorrow, which is Monday, we're gonna have an interaction. Buddy's gonna be placed in a room, I guess, with a therapist. See, I've never done this before. I didn't even do this with Lizzie. I don't know. I'm new. This is new territory for me. But Buddy's gonna sit in a room with a therapist and the lady. I'll tell you who it is. The lady is his aunt. It's his dad's sister. So he's gonna sit in a room with her, and I guess they're gonna see how he interacts with her. This is kind of hard because how much interaction? How can you differentiate the interaction with a 10-month-old? They go to anybody. They giggle and smile at anybody. You know, I don't know, but we'll see. And unless you're gonna do exercises or do certain things, or maybe it's just to interview us to see how well we know this child. You know, I've never done this before. I don't know. But he's gonna do one with her. It's like 45 minutes. Then after that, he's gonna do one with me. And the caseworker, his caseworker was like, I wonder if Lizzie can be involved. I didn't say anything. She said it. She said, I wonder if Lizzie can be involved, because that is his sister, and they need to see that he interacts with his birth sister, his biological sister. And the aunt said, no, she don't need to be involved in that. Okay, the phone fell again. And she said, no, she don't need to be involved in that. That's not his sister. And then the caseworker was like, last time I checked, they both grew inside the womb of Mary, because I call her Mary. That's what we're calling on the tube. Last time I checked, they both were grown in the womb of Mary. So how is that not his sister? Because mother lost her rights to that girl a long time ago. And I was like, I told the caseworker, I was like, that makes absolutely no sense. Like, she lost the rights when rights are stripped. Parental rights are stripped, not sibling rights are stripped. Like, this woman is on a whole nother planet. So the first thing that popped in my head when I told the caseworker, I was like, she feels threatened and she knows she's going to lose. Because if you put a child in the room in an interactional, and they see that not only how that child interacts with me, but how that child interacts with his sibling, you lost already. She's trying her hardest not to get Lizzie to go to that interactional. But guess what? Honey boo boo, sweet honey child, sugar lumps. Lizzie Bear is gonna be in that interactional. So the caseworker said, I don't care what she says. She ain't got no control. Show up with your daughter. I said, wow! She's pissed because she knows that that's a connection right there. And it's funny because she doesn't want Buddy living with me, because I'm not family, and Buddy's the mom. which is Lizzie's mom. Like, the phone fell again. She was like, I don't know what she talking about. Kim is family. She was pissed. That's what Buddy and Lizzie's mom said. You are family. She said, you raising our daughter? You are family. She was mad. And so, yeah, she calls the children our children. And I'm not going to take that away from her. I'm kind of concerned with her saying that around Lizzie. I don't know if that's going to confuse Lizzie. I don't know. Okay, let's see. I hope this phone don't fall again, because every time I turn, the phone falls. But I don't know if it's going to confuse her. I don't know. That's the part that sucks. It's like having an open adoption agreement is so hard. And it's like, I don't know how she's going to react hearing Lizzie call me mommy and hearing Lizzie call her by her first name. I don't know. We haven't had a face-to-face interaction with Lizzie yet. Lizzie has been around her birth mom and I've been around her birth mom, but together, all three of us together, not yet. We're not due for that until October. Oh man, y'all can't see me. I'm gonna have to turn around so the sun faces the other way. Because I'm stopping off to get something to eat and bring it home to the family. I do that every weekend. But and I didn't get my mom her coffee. I'm a bad daughter, dang. But we've never had the interaction all together. In the adoption agreement, we are only obligated to see each other every October. We could do more if we want, but that's what we're obligated to do, is every October. And that fits in both of our schedules, you know, that fits our lifestyle right now. I'm so scared. I'm trying to prepare myself and prepare her and stuff like that. I really, really want it to be a healthy relationship, because it's not for me. It's not for mom, like birth mom. It's for Lizzie. And I remember on my other video, someone said, I hope you help this child find her mother and her father. I just when I read it, I just felt the neck popping in the comment. Like, when you read it, you had to pop the neck. It was just neck popping worthy.
I hope you help this child find her mom and dad, because she gonna want to see them and know them. And if I lost my child, I would die inside.
Number one, don't address my child as this kid or this. Yeah, she didn't say, I think she said this kid. I don't think she said this child. But anyway, it's not this. Her name is Elizabeth, and you know what her name is because I said it in the video. And don't say it like that. I've had so many people ask me, do you still communicate with the birth mom? Perfect way to ask the question. Have you not been brought up with manners? How uncouth are you to just ask a question like that? Number one, you disrespected me and you disrespected my daughter by calling her this kid or this child. She has a name, and all you had to do is ask, do we have an open adoption agreement? And I would have told you, yes, we do. I told them I did. They called me a liar. I'm like, how in the world are you calling me a liar? Like, why ask the question if you're not going to believe the answer, or if you're not going to listen to the answer? But I can go on a rant about that. But that's a whole other story. There's a whole bunch of drama going under that video, which is stupid, because I guess since the video has over 200,000 views on it now, the freaks come out now. But that's my adoption video on my other channel that people are going crunk over, where I introduce Lizzie to the world. And people are pissed, of course, because I'm black and she's white. I've been called all names in the book. I've been called a coon. I've been accused of having the Michael Jackson syndrome. I've been accused of being a nanny, a slave, taking care of Master's daughter. This world is so evil. And then we get shocked when we see things on the news that people are killing people in nightclubs, people bombing places, people running planes into the Twin Towers. Why are we shocked when you get people like this that come out on YouTube videos and YouTube comments talking nasty and cruel to people? I'm not shocked, because people are evil. This world is evil. And I love the people who support me. I love you guys with everything inside of me. That's why I keep doing these videos. But even if only one person watched my video, I would still do videos, because nobody's going to run me away. I'm too strong for that. Too independent, too focused, too driven, too anything for that nonsense. But I didn't want to turn this video into that. But oh, since I stopped, this is the last thing I saw. It says, you have a motivating spirit, and I feel my dreams come true by watching you live your dream of motherhood. And that is so cool. It's like this guy staring at me like I'm crazy. Never saw a person talk to themselves? He's staring at me like I'm crazy. That's so awesome that you said that. That's what I want to do. I want to be positive to people. That's why I don't understand how people could be mean in my comment sections. I'm always positive. And it's funny, like when I stick up for myself, they call me mean. Like this one person said when I clap back, and I clap back respectfully. I don't curse you out. I don't call you a name, although you call me names. But I clap back in a respectful way. And they said that I'm hiding behind a smile, that I'm really evil and horns are coming out and I'm a gremlin. And I'm like, what? They said, I really wanted to like you, but I can't because I see the true you. You just hide behind that smile and that bubbly personality. But the evil horns are coming out. Why? Because you disrespected me and I put you in your place? Okay, if that's the case, yeah, horns will come out when you step on me and my daughter's and now my son's toes. Yes, it will come out. It's like a push button. When you step on our toes, my horns pop out. But anyway, this video is 51 minutes. Dang, I try, but you guys don't care. You love it, but I still feel so bad making you guys sit here and watch this video so long. And you're not even gonna see the kids in this video. But let me end this now because I'll just keep talking. I love you guys. I hope I answered your questions. If you want any more questions answered, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments below. I'll be taking the comments from this comment section and answer them in the next one. I want to do these like once a week. And it's like I only want to answer like maybe 5. But then I feel bad because I'm like, these are some good questions that you guys are asking. So then I end up answering all of them. And but anyway, I love you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Pray for us because we're going to have our interactional tomorrow. Pray that it goes well. And then also next Friday, well, you will see us again before then, but next Friday, I have an interview, like a therapy interview or like some type of interview for adoption. I've never had this before. This is so new and it's so stressful. My buddy is special. He really is special up in these streets. And they're treating him like royalty. Although, if you guys want to know what he really looks like, okay, he looks like Lizzie. But one day, he had on like this little polo type onesie. It was like a polo shirt, but it was like a onesie. And his little blonde hair was like combed to the side. And he looked legitimately like Prince George. Is that his name? Like the royalty family overseas. Their first son, his name is George, right? Prince George. Why do I feel that's wrong? He looked just like him. I was like, oh, look at you, looking like royalty up in these streets. Although I know people are going to be pissed when I introduce my son to the world and they see I got another white kid. The people are so ignorant of this world. Now, if I was scared, I wouldn't even introduce him to the world. I would just introduce him on my blog channel. But I did it for my daughter. I'm going to do it for him. And anybody that don't like it can just go away. Dang. Go read a book. Go hug somebody. Even if it's yourself, that's who you need to hug because you seem so doggone miserable. I love you guys. Oh, and since I mentioned this video, and since I mentioned the drama, please, I repeat, please don't go on that video and try to stick up for me because all that's doing is fueling those idiots. Just, if y'all want to watch the video, because some people found me through my vlog channel and never saw my main channel. So if you go see that video, that's our adoption video. It takes you to the court. I take you to court and you see her actually get adopted and you see the judge hit the little thing on the gavel or whatever and clap and everything. It's great. And you see pictures when she was little, during the times that I couldn't share her to the world and y'all saw her really, really little. I'll link that video down below, but please don't fight those idiots. A lot of them are blocked, so they're not going to be able to reply anyway, but don't fight my battle. I got this, and I don't want them to bring out the bad side of people. But yeah, but I love you guys. It's 54 minutes of goodness, and I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, y'all. I just wanted to come back real quick. I'm actually finishing up driving home. I went to the store, got what I need to get. Now I'm finishing up driving home. And I realized that I didn't mention this because this might confuse some people. But I know some people may be like, well, why do you have to do like an interaction or an interview and all this stuff? Like, why is there a decision that has to be made whether he goes with one person versus you? And the reason why, without telling too much information, the reason why is because the other person lives out of state. And She came up here for a while and she was taking care of him, but now she wants to go back to her state. And with DCF or CPS, you can't take foster children to live. Like, you can't take foster children across state lines to live. You can take them across state lines for vacation and stuff like that, but you can't take them across state lines to live. So there's a thing called an ICPC that has to be done. And while that's being done, the child has to sit in state custody, has to sit in foster care. So instead of them putting him in just some random foster home, they put him in a home with his sister. And so now his lawyer's like, well, I don't know if we really should move him again because that's going to traumatize him. So her argument is that he's already been removed from his birth mom. Then he's been removed from this relative, this aunt. And now he's going to be removed from this person, me, if he goes to live with her. So he's been removed too many times. Child's been bounced around too many times. So now they're trying to say which home is the best suitable for him. Should he, because both homes is relative, should he go and live with an aunt, because she's his relative, or should he grow up with his sister, his sibling? And I feel siblings should grow up together, especially if they don't really communicate or know their other siblings. And that's not my doing. That's their new mommy's doing. But yeah, so that's the reason why. That's the reason why he came to me, is because he was supposed to be sitting with me until the ICPC thing went through. But now everyone's looking like, but wait a minute, you're a relative home. Maybe he should grow up with his sister and live with her. Because we all know that if he moves away, none of us is never going to see that little boy again. But that was the explanation. Hope I explained that properly. But yeah, I'm gonna stop holding y'all up. Y'all got things to do. And watching me ramble is not one of them.
I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. You better believe it. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. Get that understood. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. You better believe it. I'ma be happy. I'ma be good. Get that understood.